So, who are you? How did you find who you are? And what defines you as an individual? That was from me. I didn't even see that. I just thought of it the other day. So, like, like how you see yourself. What do you think defines you? Like your morals, your like who you are. Do you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of confidence comes from like how you see
think
yourself.
you are.
Yeah, is what I'm trying to say.
I think I like to think myself as an honest person and a morally correct person. It's hard when you. It's quite hard when you, because it's like you're stripping away all your interests. You're stripping back everything away from you, and it leaves you with like, what do you have left when you take away your hobbies and you take away your your clothes, and when you take away, you're left with like, who are you? That's a tough question.
Yeah, I think it's the underpinning of everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think if you can be more sure of like who actually am I, you know what to do more in situations. It's when you're not really sure and you're trying to be someone else. It's when like you don't have the confidence or you don't know what to do. I think if you're sure about who you are, okay, in this situation I do X. If I'm in this situation I do Y, because of who you are. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely think I stay true to myself. I think quite a lot. If someone's saying some shit about someone, I won't follow the narrative. Do you know what I mean? I won't be a sheep and like follow the same opinion everyone else has. If I have a different one or I have a different one, I'm gonna stick to it. Whereas, I wouldn't change my opinion on something based on, oh, fuck, everyone thinks it. Have you seen that experiment they have where there's like 10 people in a room? They send someone in a room. Someone starts off in a room. They're an actor, right? And when a sound beeps or a bell rings, the person stands up and sits back down. Have you seen that?
No, I've not seen that. I've think of a similar one though.
Someone sits in a room, an actor, whatever. They're waiting for like an appointment or something, right? And they stand up. Bell rings, they stand up, and they sit back down. Next person comes in. They're a real person, right? They sit there. When the bell rings, they watch this person stand up and they sit down. After a couple times, they join in. And then they send in another person, not an actor. And they see the bell ring, they see the two people next to them stand up, sit back down. Like, what the fuck? So everyone, they start sending more people in. Eventually, all the people are standing up and sit back down when the bell rings. Then the actor leaves, right? The person that started it, they leave, they're not there anymore. And then it's left with
just
who
aren't
9
even in on it.
people that have no idea why they are standing up and sitting back down.
Not a single one understands.
But they're all doing it thinking that the other people know why they're standing up and sitting back down. But little do they know, none of them know why they're standing up and sitting back down.
There's quite a few experiments. There was another one that I've seen where they took a load of people and let's say like a similar sort of thing, 10 people, and asked them all a really obvious question. But the first to be fair, I think there was like 9 actors and 1 person who was a real person who wasn't in on the thing. And the 9 actors all gave the same stupid answer that wasn't the correct answer.
Agreed to something that wasn't like
But then the experiment was to see does the 10th person go against that, and it was like 95% of the time that person said the same answer as the other 9, even though it was like they knew it was wrong. It was obviously wrong. They still did it to not be. It's basically this like the whole conformity thing.
I guess you don't know what you're gonna be like in that situation until you're in that situation. But I'd really hope that I would be like, what the fuck are you guys on about? Like,
well, this is what the scared of being different thing, and it's real. Like I find with myself, like I don't actually know. I'm worried that I'd be the person who'd actually just go, oh, do you know what? I'm not gonna I can't be arsed with this argument. I'm just gonna
agree.
But then that comes to, okay, then there's something about me that's got to change. I've got to be more honest with myself in order to like, if I'm going to become that person who's going to be an outlier and say what I think, regardless of what other people are saying.
Yeah, it's hard because in this.
It's easy to say it now, when you're put in front of 9 people,
Yeah.
all looking at you, and they've just given different answers. Like, are you gonna be
Then
the
sit
guy
there and
who?
be-
I don't know. But then, like you say, like when you say things like, "Oh, there's certain people that people will say they don't like." Like lots of people say, "Oh, this person they don't like them because of X, Y, and Z." And then you go, "Okay, do I listen to this person or do I go and find out for myself?"
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then that's. I mean, we've got ourselves into trouble for doing that, but.
Yeah.
And we stood our ground. We've stood our ground a few times when people have been like, "This
Yeah.
person's bad because of this," and then we've been like, "Oh, we don't agree, and we don't care."
A lot
what
of
you
the
say."
arguments I've come into is they've made an assumption on someone, and that's their opinion that is set in stone.
Yeah.
And
About
that's
everything.
it, right?
About
Whereas you
every
can
element of
take-
their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked.
You can take good things from someone. You can take good things from a bad person a lot of the time, right? Yeah, they might have been the worst person in the world, but for a certain group of people, I'm sure they were good, right? Like, let's just talk Andrew Tate, for example, because it's easy. It's an easy fucking, you know.
You got a bit softer than I was going to go. I was going to go
Hitler. That's another. That was in my mind too, but that one just it's harder.
It's
to
a bit
argue.
extreme, isn't it?
It's harder to argue that. I mean, Hitler is like, if you took away the fact that what he did to the Jews, right? If you took that whole thing away, if he never did that, right, that one thing, and I'm sure some other things too.
Well, to be fair, if you took everything he did up until kind of 1939,
he was good for the
fucking,
German
like,
people,
like
right?
a hero. To
Like,
be
if you was a
honest.
German, you'd be like, fuck, I want that guy to run my country.
Imagine
Really?
like it's 1930 Germany.
Yeah.
Like it's post World War One. Your country has been like taxed out of its arse. Like you're in one of the worst depressions you've ever seen. Like it's destroyed. Your economy's destroyed. Like there's nothing, no sort of like prospects. And then suddenly this bloke comes in. He was put in jail. All of this sort of stuff comes up and goes, right, we're going to build this back stronger, and builds like cars, like roads. Gets trade deals with like America and stuff. That all like that sounds really, really good. And then it's like invades Poland, and then it just all goes down, and it's all
Goes
just
to
like
shit.
it's all ruined from there. But like if you look at everything else, we can take what he did before then, and be like, do you know what? If we acted like that, it would be quite good. Like,
Yeah.
if we try and fix things,
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing, is it? Now let's
No.
just not invade another country. Like
So as someone that thinks for themselves, you can recognise that Hitler, that part of Hitler, was a good aspect, right? Like, that seems pretty obvious to me. What you've just
Yeah.
said, right? As a German person, if I was in Germany, whatever, I would want Hitler to be my leader, right? That seems pretty obvious to me. But
yeah,
you
it's just
loads of
it's just a
people.
sentence.
But this is my point though, because because of what Hitler's done, people see what Hitler's done and make an idea up in their head, right, that he is a terrible person. Now, he is a terrible person, right? I'm not saying he's not a terrible person. He is a fucking terrible person. However, there is good things you can take from that man's
can learn
leadership
good things,
skills,
yeah.
right? There is good aspects you can take away. Now, that is very extreme. Let's go a bit soft. Let's go Andrew Tate, right? He says some questionable stuff. Loads of people, and you can see it. Probably more than half of people look at Andrew Tate, look at some of the things that he's said, which have been a bit questionable, and that's their opinion made up on him. That's it. Everything he says from now on is wrong. Even when he says the most obviously right things sometimes. Like, can you think of anything that are obviously right?
Like some of the stuff about training in the gym.
Yeah, being, you know,
how the universe is giving to those who try. That's just true, isn't it? Like,
it's just true, man. And
that's
it's
the harder you try,
it's solid fucking advice. Work hard. If you tell someone that, they'll be like, no, he's wrong. He's wrong. You'd be like, why? He's a piece of shit.
They
That's
develop
it.
this entity in their head, don't they?
That's
about
it.
someone.
That's their decision. They've heard a narrative and they're going with the narrative. They can't think for themselves. They can't separate the good things and the bad things they've heard and make their own opinion on it. They've got to hear one thing, jump on the bandwagon, and that's it. That's their opinion now. And you can't change that. If you
The
try
news
to say,
says X, so I'll say X.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I like to think the news tells me X, so I try to think of Y.
Yeah.
try
Question
and go-
everything you hear. Question
Yeah.
everything, and make your own consensus on it. Make your own opinion on it, rather than just hearing it go, "Oh, yeah, that's true." The news is lying to you most of the fucking time, right? This thing that happened in Spain recently, the whole blackout thing, right? You know about that? The whole
No.
grid going down and shit
Not heard about that.
in Spain. So was it yesterday or the day before?
I don't know. Yeah.
The whole grid in Spain and Portugal and parts of France went blackout, right?
Ooh.
So they had no traffic lights, they had no trains. Most of the country, they had no electricity. So it means trains were stopped, traffic lights stopped, Wi-Fi stopped, cell phone signals stopped.
It's probably why the S&P 500's gone down a lot.
Yeah,
Stocks have just gone down today quite a
Potentially.
bit. I'm like, oh, that's something random. It's probably because of that.
because of that.
People stopped working.
Everything stopped. Shops had to close. Restaurants couldn't make food because their cookers weren't working. Everything came to a standstill. There was crazy traffic in the fucking streets. Everyone with Teslas couldn't charge their cars. Everyone do you know what I mean? It went into shit show. My sister went to Lanzarote, so it's one of the Spanish
Shit.
islands. Yeah,
Wow.
she was there while it
Shit.
happened.
Yeah.
She couldn't get the flight home because the airport stopped working, so they cancelled.
She's stuck in
all flights.
Lanzarote right now.
She's just come back.
Right.
After a
How
day.
have you not told me? How have you not told me this in the last?
I
hour and a
kind of
half?
thought about
That's
it
mad.
till now. Yeah, everything stopped. I thought you would have heard
No,
about.
I heard about this. Is crazy.
See, this is the thing. Anyway, right. So yeah, so she literally came back this morning, and she was meant to be back a day or two ago, right? She just got back. Even when she sat on her plane, right, ready to take off, she was coming home after being delayed for several hours. Then they hit her with, sorry guys, we've got to deboard the plane after sitting on the plane for 3 hours. We've got to deboard the plane because Elon's flying a rocket in our path. SpaceX has got a space launch and the rocket's going to fly in our path, so therefore we can't fly and we have to deboard. So they had to deboard and then they had to get a hotel for the night because of Elon.
SpaceX.
SpaceX firing a rocket, and I looked up and they were flying a rocket.
What, from a Canary Island or something?
I'm guessing, obviously, when the fucking planet rotates, I'm assuming when they're firing it up in wherever they're firing it up, it's gonna cross paths.
I thought it was in. Where is it? Houston.
It probably is, but as the planet rotates, right, as it gets to a certain altitude, is this right? What I'm saying? Because you think
does it go up? I thought we were
'Cause
going
when
up too
it's-
quick for that. For it to get all the way from Houston to the Earth rotating to bloody Lanzarote.
See, this is the thing that could have been also complete bullshit. It probably was.
Who knows? Who knows if it was a big political stunt for everyone to hate Elon, because that's become a bit of a thing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
That's cool now to fucking shit on Elon.
Shit on Elon, yeah. It could have well been, to be honest. Yeah, that could have been crap. The thing that I think is crap, their excuse for the reason the whole grid went down was because of an unusual solar flare that disrupted the electrical something in the atmosphere that ruined the fucking other shit. But I think that's
it's
fucking
Russians.
bollocks. I think someone
The Chinese.
someone somewhere fucked up massively, and something went wrong, and everything's gone down. And they don't want everyone to know how easy it is to shut the grid down for like that. And obviously someone fucked up somewhere, and they know if they tell the truth.
Someone spilt their coffee on the control desk.
Yeah. And they're like,
Alright.
fuck, well, we can't say what really happened because the whole world's going to know how
Homer
easy
Simpson,
it is
yeah.
to ruin us, you know? So
Maybe.
therefore they make up some unusual solar flare.
So
in the
yeah, it's
atmosphere.
easier, isn't it, to blame it on an act from God, I guess.
Yeah.
Of like,
So you're
that's what they
telling
say,
me
isn't it?
a
It's
bit
an
of
act of God. We can't insure you for that.
yeah.
So one of them.
Yeah. So you're telling me a solar flare just took out Spain, and that's it.
And just Spain. Doesn't really make any sense.
And a
actually,
bit
does
of France,
it? I
but
don't know.
mainly Spain, and everything, islands and all. Anyway, weird. My point I was making. What was I making? Gone on a tangent. Do you remember what I said before?
What was the whole point of this conversation? About who you are,
Who you are?
deep down. The idea was that politically, whether you believe the news. I think it's about believing the news.
The news, right?
Right.
So the news tells you that. Now you can't just look at that and be like, oh yeah, that must be what happened. Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it well could be true, right? There could be no weird whatever, but you've got to come to your own consensus, and you've got to look at some. You know, you can't just believe, especially the news. You can't believe a word they fucking say.
No.
They're
Well, do you
lying.
know the news? It was invented purely to. It was funded by the government for the TV, the BBC, and everything like that, to tell the people in the country to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, to hate this person. Before then, it was propaganda from posters and stuff and radio. That's all it is. It's just moved on to TV and media, and now social media. Just continuous spool of propaganda. We need the people to think like this, and I totally get it, because we do actually need people who are living in our society to think a certain way about certain things. It just depends. Obviously nowadays they kind of push for mental illness, which is a bit crazy. Like when they talk about global warming and eating animals and it's going to destroy the planet, people go mad. People start shave their hair off, stand outside of butchers dressed as a pig with blood all over them. That's what ends up happening, because people just lose their fucking minds over it.
Yeah.
And that's just where you got to go, I just don't care. Like, I just don't care what they say. I'm just going to ignore it. And you'll just be a lot healthier that way. And like the world kind of just ticks on.
It does. That's the thing.
Like,
the world is just going to tick on, man. And
do you mean like
get
it's
wrapped up in things that are going to consume your life?
Yeah.
And for what? Like, if you're on your deathbed, oh, what did I do in my life? Oh,
I worried about global
designated-
warming, and now I'm 80 and the
And now I'm
weather's
80.
the same.
There you go.
It's
It's like,
just like 1 degree hotter, and I wasted how much time worrying about it? Like,
trying to convince people otherwise.
it doesn't
for
matter.
what?
Maybe
You know?
maybe it is warming up. Maybe it's all eventually coming to an end. But like, why are you going to worry so much? You dedicate your whole life to fucking. I don't know. We're in the middle of the
It
woods
didn't
now.
change
Look,
anything.
these bluebells are thriving.
They're blooming.
The trees look great. Oh, other than that one, that's fucking fallen down. But not a great example. But like the wild, there's birds tweeting. We heard a woodpecker earlier. Like, I heard a mouse running through here. Like, it's all kind of just carrying on.
Yeah.
They're not worried about it.
No.
We're the only ones fucking castrating ourselves over
Yeah.
global warming and all that sort of stuff. Just because, I don't know, because we think it's just a massive issue. It's like yesterday someone said to me, it's like, oh, it's getting warmer. It's all that global warming. It's like, what a negative view of a lovely sunny day. It's the end of April. It's nearly May. Like, it is going to get warmer. There's going to be warmer days. Like, it's normal. But just like the idea that you just take that positive and just ruin it
Yeah.
because the news told you to. Fuck the news.
Shit way to think, man.
Yeah. Anyway, because we're apolitical on this podcast, I'm going to go the other way and say, like, Keir Starmer, right? Not his biggest fan, let's put it that way. But there's some people out there who hate him with a passion. I've heard people say they want to kill him, literally say they want to kill him, and I'm like, nah, that's a bit extreme. And they're like, no, if I had the chance, I'd kill him. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
But then you look at him. He's got a family. He's probably said some like clever stuff at some point. You can disagree with him as a political leader, but he's not.
You see all the shit he said about Trump?
What he said, he's like bashing him, and now recently he's like,
and now,
congratulations.
Yeah,
He was such a
yeah.
that was quite funny.
Yeah.
But mate, they need to make friends, because like we need America and the UK can't be
No, they can't.
enemies.
Man.
That'll ruin this country. Ruin it.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
care.
already
If it was
ruined.
fucking Kamala in charge, I'd be saying exactly the same thing. Like, Keir Starmer needs to like get on with her and sort out a trade deal and sort out get the two countries working together. If it's Trump, he needs to get the countries working together. If it's not Keir, if it's someone else, get the countries working together. I don't care who it is. I don't care what side they're on. Like, but we can't just because we disagree. Oh, I disagree on this. I'll disagree that the way that he's handling X or whatever.
See, that goes back to like what we were saying in the beginning, how some people you take one negative out of someone and that's it. You're like, I don't
That's
want to
it,
talk
you
to
hate
them anymore.
them.
I fucking hate them. I don't want to. That's it. And that's that. It's like right.
Like Keir Starmer, he's got a family, he's got kids.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. He's got a wife. Like, that's not a bad thing, is it? Like,
No.
there's positives to the guy. You don't have to hate him or want to kill him.
Yeah.
Just because you disagree with him.
Saying if I got the chance, I'd kill him.
That's a bit mental, isn't it?
It is mental.
And even if like, yeah, even if you wouldn't vote for him, you shouldn't like wish death upon him. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And people on the other side do the same thing. Like Farage, who's probably the furthest the other side to him, gets fucking milkshakes and shit thrown at him. He's been like threatened so many times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. But this almost does link back to like what we said in the beginning. Who are you? You know?
Yeah.
And this is who we are. Like this is our opinion on the subject. I suppose this is kind of like, you know, this is our view on something. It's not to just to make your own consensus in life. And
I think that's a big underpinning of like, yeah, of us, is just that we don't believe anything we're fucking told by the news.
No.
I think it's a big part of my personality.
I like to take things into account, look at the details, and then be like, okay, yeah, this is what I think. And then I'm not going to take what I think and start spreading it around like all these fuckers do. They get a fucking opinion and they jump on Instagram. They post stories about it. The amount of fucking people I've unfollowed because of some shit they post on their story, I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
No one
like,
cares. Yeah.
Who's going to see that? Like, who's going to fucking see that? You're going to make no change to... You're just posting some bullshit.
Just so you can divide your
Unfollow.
friendships. So you go, yeah, this is the thing. I don't know, but some people are so political that they don't think they can be friends with anyone who's on the other side. Like, and that's when it gets crazy. Or even because a lot of people like who have different political opinions to me, they have different political opinions because of a reason, because of something that's happened in their life. It's not necessarily that they're bad people or that they're wrong. Sometimes it just depends on what side of life you're on.
Exactly, and
and what you're most important to you.
It's the forcing on other people that I fucking hate. You know, it's saying you should think this way and this is the right answer, when it maybe they haven't got the full picture of something. You know, they're not on the other side of the fence. So how can they sit there and say this is the right way to think when they could be completely fucking wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. I think what you do with your outwards life massively influences who you are as a person, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way that you feel on the inside, you should try to reflect on the outside, because otherwise it's just a load of bollocks in your head. Do you know what I mean? Like, with us, like we say we're going to get fit, and we're going to go gym, and we're going to do podcasts. Well, what if we just like talked about it and then just didn't do it?
I saw something. Apparently, if you talk about things like getting fit and doing things that you want to do, it gives you a small release of dopamine and makes you feel like you've done them. So therefore, talking about, if you constantly talk, that's how people like procrastinate, because they constantly say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know, this is where I want to be, I want to have this car, I want to have this house. It gives you, by talking about it, it gives you some dopamine. It makes you feel like you're really
You feel like you've got a little bit of it, but you actually haven't done fuck all.
And then the next day comes when that conversation passes and you go back to fucking being a piece of shit again. You know, fucking watching TikTok reels and fucking, you know, all that shit.
I've heard a lot about from Chris Williams when he talks about that, and he calls it mental masturbation, where you just endlessly watch, like, listen to podcasts and endlessly watch David Goggins reels and endlessly just try and like motivate yourself up, and you feel good because you're motivating yourself, but you're not actually doing jack shit.
There's no action.
There's nothing. Yeah, you're not like talking about doing the thing isn't doing the thing.
Yes.
Thinking about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Like, listen to podcasts about doing the thing isn't doing the thing.
Yeah.
Fucking having a wank over doing
that. Did we see the same thing?
I think we might. I've seen it anyway, but
yeah.
I think you sent me it as well.
Yeah.
It's true.
Doing the thing is doing the thing.
Yeah. Just do the thing.
You gotta just do the thing.
Yeah. I can't think about
that. If we flip, like, let's talk about what kind of people we want to be, because I'm definitely not the person I want to be yet.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. That's good.
Doing the thing is what the type of person I want to be, and I like to remember when I did do the thing, like starting this, we did the thing, right? But there's always a next thing that needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
And I'm proud of us for doing this thing, and we did do the thing. We spoke about it for a while, and we did it. But what's the next thing that I'm trying to do? The next thing is like become really fit and healthy and become the best version of myself. That's what I want to do, and that's what I really don't want to let myself down. I don't want to be talking about it, because yeah, talking about it feels great. Talking, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. The other day when we said we were going to go for a run, we didn't just talk about it and then when it came to it, we didn't do it. We did. We got up and did it. Like we went out and we said we were going to go somewhere, and we went there and we had a good day. We did the run and we felt good about ourselves, and that's doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And sometimes doing the thing doesn't feel as good as talking about doing the thing.
No.
At the time. Do you know what I mean? So like talking about training, like, oh, let's train this way and that way. Like it's quite fun, and you get hyped up when talking about it. Yeah, let's lift weight, blah, blah, blah. But when you're actually there and the bar's fucking crushing on top of you,
Yeah.
and you're like halfway through a set of, I don't know, bench press or whatever, it doesn't always feel that great. Like it can feel a bit, it depends on who you are, I guess, but like, yeah.
Days.
Or when you're 4K in and you're trying to get your PB in a 5K.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel great either. It feels quite hard.
Running, every
To be
time
fair,
I run, bro,
it was sick, that run though. It's like
that
if
run
you
was
run in
really
a nice
fun.
location, yeah.
It's the feeling after I chase. In the time, I'm like, fuck, this is
Yeah.
horrible. I'm running, I'm like, oh man, I just want to stop. Everything in your mind and body is telling you to stop running.
When you stopped though, and I said, right, Dan, that is your PB in the 5K. This is the time you got. That feeling's like beats. Then all the suffering for the last 5 kilometers was just
Why did you forget
gone.
about it?
Yeah, oh, that's all right then.
And it feels really good to have your fucking body worked. Like you feel, you know, your muscles are aching, and it feels, I don't know, I kind of chase that feeling. I kind of want to feel like, yeah, I feel destroyed.
The feeling
It
of doing
means
the thing after you've done the thing is a good feeling.
Yeah, it completely beats doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
It beats talking about doing the thing, and it beats
Oh,
actually doing the thing.
without
The
a
feeling of
doubt,
doing,
man.
the feeling after you've done the thing, that's the thing that you're chasing, I think.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
and the point is to keep finding.
And I think
things to
always
do.
aiming for that, not
Yeah.
worrying about the other bits. Just chase that feeling afterwards when you're lying on the floor after that 5K,
Yeah.
and you've just hit your PB, or you've
I've-
just got off the bench and you've lifted the amount of reps you said you were going to do.
I've really started to do over the last year. I think that's something I've really focused on, is not letting myself down. If I say I'm gonna go to the gym and I do get to the gym, I don't want to then half-ass it. Oh, I feel really good because I said I was gonna go to the gym. Now I'm in the gym. Now I can just cruise. No, like I'm here now. I've got to set out. I've got to make the most of it, and I've got to do what, you know. I can't half rep. I can't say, you know, give up because I'm maybe a bit struggling. I'm like, oh, I can't get that one. Really, I could have got it, you know. That's what helps with being with someone in the gym, because like me and you pushing each other. Like last night when we were in the gym, we fucking
Smashed
like
it.
motivating ourselves, saying, oh, if you don't get this one, mate, you're gay. Or like
Yeah, or
shit like
like-
that. If you don't get 6, you're fucking, you know.
Yeah.
I was saying, there's this person standing around you, all calling you your fucking
Calling
shit,
you a
mate.
pussy
Calling
unless
you
you
a
get
pussy
it.
unless you get it. And each rep
So
is
and then I'm
for,
like, there's 7 people around me.
yeah, each rep is for each 7 people, and it's like, fuck, okay, that's 1 person out the way, that's 2 people
And you put it
out
back
the
in.
way.
Yeah.
And you get
fucking,
it, yeah.
You're a pussy.
I'm not a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
He's good way, and it fucking worked. It
Well, the
does
other one was
work,
there was a
man.
nice steaming cup of fucking
coffee,
Japanese coffee.
Japanese coffee it was.
We had a really nice Japanese coffee the other day, and I
Yeah.
was like, let's use that as motivation in the gym. Just think about that. it was
But
so
If
good.
you get 7, you get that coffee. I almost
That's
felt
all the
like
motivation
I
I need.
had it. When I got it, I almost felt like I had it
Taste it.
afterwards. I could taste it in my mouth. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I even went like that, didn't I? I went, and it almost felt like, yeah, I was there again. It's like I had the coffee in my hand. But that's
Yeah.
what pushes you through stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah,
oh man.
that's the thing. And it would be a great feeling, like, with this podcast at the end of the year, if we look back and be like, we've done however many
What did we
episodes, and
achieve?
what have we
Yeah.
got better at? Like, what what's better about this podcast now than when we first started. Because I mean, it's coming out. It's not far. I'm pretty sure it's not far off a year from the time we did the first ever one, which is mad.
That is crazy.
And then, like, at the end of the year, I want to look back and be like, after like a whole like reel of episodes, and we've just like, it looks good.
I would be really interested to go back to the beginning and see what I said I wanted to do, and
how
now
changed.
look at it, how much have I actually that I'm doing that I didn't realise I accomplished that goal.
Yeah.
For example, taking on running. I don't know if back then I even said I wanted to take on running, but it's funny to if I watch that and hear me say, oh, I really want to take up running. I'm like, fuck, I did that without noticing I did that.
Yeah.
I'm running now, you know?
I'm a runner.
I'm a runner.
Yeah.
Can't really call myself a runner yet, but I'm a runner. Like, you know?
Yeah. Mad. No, it's good. I think just trying to do the things you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know every day I feel like I need to live more up to that, and I feel like I'm not already. It's still not there. Like you still have the old, like, no one's perfect really. It's so hard to, but the better you get at it, the closer you're
It's
going to
really
get
trying to break up them habits, innit? Because it becomes all habits, and you know.
Yeah.
I've tried small things. I try like in my room. My room, I can get because I have quite a small room. My room can get messy really quick. So I've started to. I've started to try to rewire my mind. If I get something out of my drawer to use it, I'm then not just gonna leave it on my desk or somewhere on my surface area of my room. I'm gonna put it back where I fucking got it from.
Where it's come out of.
Where it's come out of, and I've really tried to like rewire my mind to do that, and it's fucking hard, man. To try keep your room tidy 7 days a week. I've kind of made that
actually
goal
difficult
to myself.
Yeah.
I tidied my room on Sunday, and it's going to be the same as it is by Friday, and I'm not going to clear up like within that week. I'm not going to clear up. It's going to look the same, and the whole week I'm going to put things back where they belong. I'm going to, after I take my clothes off, I'm going to put them in my washing bin. I'm not going to leave them on my floor, like shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's my own little goal to myself, is to do like, and if I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do it and then not do it.
Yeah. Once you've said it, that's it. You've got
it.
to fucking do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you catch yourself thinking, oh, I don't want to do that thing. If you catch yourself thinking that,
Double down.
Double down on it. You gotta go fucking do that thing now.
Rather than doing it for half an hour, you got to fucking do it for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I've tried to do that with myself when I can't be asked to do my work for my qualification thing. I'm like, I catch myself doing that all the time. I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I just want to do something else. And I'm like, no, sit down, put some music on. We're going to be here for an hour.
Yeah.
Bang. And then like it takes about 20 minutes. There's so many reading a book. Like, if you notice, the first 10 minutes of reading a book just are a bit shit. And as soon as you hit that 10-minute mark, it's like your brain just like molds to, it molds to it, and then you're like, oh, I'm in the flow of it now, and like everything else around you is just forgotten.
Picking the
same
book
thing when
up's
you're doing the
quite
work.
hard, but once you're in it,
I have it every night, so I read every night because it helps me sleep. And the first 10 minutes, I'm just not. It's very likely I'll get distracted, but after that 10 minutes, nothing's distracting me. I'm like,
what are you reading at the moment?
Book called Red Rising.
Red Rising.
Pierce Brown, yeah.
Good.
It's on Chris Williamson's reading list.
Nice.
It's fiction. It's really interesting. It's about all like, basically society has like gone interplanetary, and everyone's been split up into colours.
Okay.
It's this, and then there's this whole race divide thing. It's really cool.
Interesting.
It's really, really cool.
I really want to.
You should read it. It's
I'm
fucking good.
reading. I'm not reading. I haven't read it in a while. I need to get better at that as well. But I've got a book at the moment. It's Ant Middleton. You know, the SAS guy.
Oh yeah, I think
I've
listened to all of his on Audible.
Have you?
Yeah.
This is first book I've got, and I'm trying to work
First
my way
Man
through
In.
that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just shit at picking the book up, man.
That's a good book. I like
But
that.
I want to get that one done so I can start buying. I want to read the Book of Five Rings, or the Summing of Five Rings, and that's apparently meant to be a great book. And Joe Rogan speaks about it all the time. Goes the Book of Five Rings. The Book of Five Rings. You got to read it. You got to read it. It's about like this samurai. Yeah, this
I've just
samurai.
thought of a joke, but I'm not going to say it. I'll say it afterwards.
I have an idea of where it's going.
Yeah. Oh, right, that samurai, that's quite cool.
Yeah, it was a samurai. I don't remember his name, but yeah, he wrote this book, and his basically rules. He's like his rules for life,
Oh, that's quite
like
interesting.
really relate to like now, and it was written a while ago. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and the way this guy views his life and the way this, you know, his morals and stuff, they really are good. I think Joe Rogan's got a tattoo of him on his arm.
Oh, right.
This samurai that wrote this book, he's got a tattoo of him.
That's quite sick.
And that's how much he likes the book. And I'm like, yeah,
It's pretty big, yeah.
I've got to fucking, I've got to read this book. But yeah, see, that's another thing, taking up reading. Like, I need to get better. Like you do, you said you read before bed. I want to do that because
Yeah.
I'm, yeah, this is going to be interesting.
I might pause it here because
Yeah.
Hello.
Still, mate.
Hello.